They told me to put my hands on the wall, not because I did anything wrong, not because I looked dangerous, but because I was standing somewhere they didn't expect me to belong. I still remember the sound of that moment more than the words. Shoes scuffing against polished stone, a radio crackling, someone behind me clearing their throat like they were getting ready to enjoy this, and the tone that sharp-practiced certainty people use when they've already decided who you are. Hands, now. I didn't argue, I didn't sigh, I didn't ask why. I just did what I've learned to do over the years. I stayed still, breathed slow, and paid attention. Because when people think they have power over you, they stop hiding who they really are. I was wearing a plain jacket that night, nothing flashy. Clean shoes, but not new. The kind of outfit that doesn't scream success or struggle, just neutral. To me, it was armor. To them, it was a blank they were eager to fill in. One of them circled behind me. Another stood close enough that I could smell his coffee. I heard someone say something like, "We got a call." No explanation beyond that. No question. Just an assumption fully formed and ready to act. And that's when it hit me. Not the fear, not the anger, the familiarity. I've been here before. Not this exact hallway, not these exact faces, but this feeling. That invisible line you cross just by existing in the wrong space. The quiet math people do in their heads when they look at you and decide you're an exception to the benefit of the doubt. Someone asked me what I was doing there. I answered calmly, carefully, vaguely on purpose, and they laughed. Not a big laugh. Just that little scoff people use when they think you're lying badly. One of them said, "That's so," like we were playing a game and I didn't know the rules. What they didn't know, what they couldn't know yet, was that I was there for a reason bigger than all of them combined, and saying it out loud would have ruined months of work. So I let them talk. I let them posture. I let them feel important, because power doesn't panic, and it doesn't rush. They asked for ID. I told them exactly where it was and moved the way I was told, slow, predictable, non-threatening. The way you learn to move when you understand how quickly misunderstanding can turn into something permanent. One of them glanced at my card and handed it back like it confirmed what he already believed. Another stepped closer, lowering his voice like he was doing me a favor. "You don't look like you belong here," he said. I almost smiled. Not because it was funny, because it was honest. They weren't enforcing a rule. They were defending a picture in their head, a picture where people like me didn't fit. Things escalated after that. Not fast, just enough. A suggestion that I leave. A reminder about consequences. A performance, really. There were other people around now watching from a safe distance, pretending not to stare while staring anyway. I felt that old burn in my chest, the one that tells you this moment will stick with you whether you want it to or not. And still, I waited. Because here's the thing people don't understand about restraint. It's not weakness. It's leverage. Every word they said, every choice they made, every look they gave me, I stored it away. Names, times, tone, body language. The way confidence curdles into cruelty when it thinks it's justified. Eventually, they decided they were done with me. Done enough anyway. They told me to leave. Made it clear I wasn't welcome. Made it clear they'd remember me if I came back. I nodded. Thanked them. Walked away like nothing happened. And that's the part people never expect, that sometimes the quietest exit is the loudest warning. The next morning I came back. Same building, same doors, same polished stone floors. Different energy. This time I didn't blend in. I didn't keep my jacket closed. I didn't move cautiously. I walked in like I owned the air. And suddenly, everyone who ignored me the night before couldn't look away. I watched recognition ripple across faces. First confusion, then calculation, then something close to fear. I saw someone freeze mid-step. Someone else drop their eyes. Someone whisper a name under their breath. Funny how fast posture changes when the story flips. No one told me to put my hands on the wall this time. No one questioned why I was there. They questioned themselves. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't bring up last night. I didn't need to. The truth has weight all on its own. Paperwork appeared. Doors opened. Conversations stopped when I entered rooms. The same people who dismissed me hours earlier suddenly spoke carefully, respectfully, almost politely. Almost. One of them tried to joke, tried to smooth it over. Said something like, "Guess we got off on the wrong foot." I looked at him and said evenly, "You didn't get off on the wrong foot. You stood exactly where you meant to." That shut him up. Another tried to apologize. Not really, more like explain. He said they didn't know who I was, that if they had known, things would have been different. I told him that was the problem, because respect that depends on titles isn't respect, it's fear of consequences, and fear isn't a value. I didn't ask for anyone to be punished. I didn't demand anything dramatic. I just did what I came to do calmly, thoroughly, by the book. And I left. Later that day, I thought about how small the moment itself really was. A hallway, a wall, a few words spoken too confidently. But I also thought about how big the pattern is. How many people don't get to come back the next morning with authority behind them? How many swallow that moment and carry it quietly for years? That's the part that stays with me. Not the victory, not the reversal. The reminder that people will always tell you who they are when they think no one important is watching. And that sometimes the strongest response isn't to fight back in the moment, it's to survive it, document it, and return with the truth fully intact. I didn't win because I embarrassed anyone. I won because I didn't let the moment define me. And maybe that's the real question here. Do you think people treat you differently because of who you are, or because of who they assume you are? I'd really like to know what you think.